What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Josh Mason here. I want to do things a little differently this time around. I want to share a stupid, funny story that I can't stop laughing about in the shower, and also tie it to life. Tie it to how do we get what we want out of life, right? That's a big, big question. How do we get what we want? Well, the most basic principle here is that you get what you tolerate. Right? We're not victims to these external circumstances. We have an incredible amount of power inside of us to change and to get what we want, to change the world. So I'm going to tell you a story that has nothing to do with changing the world, but it's really, really funny. So, I've had a lot of jobs. I can't even remember how many. I worked at Microsoft, I worked at American Express for a week, and then I got fired. I worked as a bartender, bar back. I was an industrial paper shredder. What else did I do? I was in commercial real estate for a few weeks, or 3 months actually. But my favorite job, the job that up until me starting my own thing was the most valuable job for me, was I was in real estate acquisitions at this company called Landmark Dividend. Okay? What we did is we bought the leases of the cell antennas that were on the roofs of buildings. Because Verizon would come and put their antennas on the roof, and they would pay the landlord $3,000 a month to have the antennas there. Meanwhile, the antennas were killing everybody in the building, but I didn't know that at the time. I would literally go up on the antenna sites and stand 3 feet away from the cell antennas. But we would give them all this money up front to buy the rights to the lease. The downside is that they would get less money over time. The upside was that if the cell lease expired or if the lease was terminated, they would still have all that money up front. So I joined this job, I forget how many years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. 4 years ago. No, more than that. 6 years ago. Who knows? And it was a great company. And I had this mentor. His name was Sam. Okay, he would say it like that. Yes, Sam. And, a real New Yorker. Okay, so what we had to do is we had to, as a sales rep, or really we were real estate acquisitions, we were VP of sales is what our titles were. And Sam, what we had to do is we had to call landlords, whether they were small mom and pops or they were huge multi-million-dollar landlords who owned 15, 20, 30 buildings in New York City. And we had to, first, a lot of times we had to find their contact information. And second of all, we had to call them and get a meeting with them. It didn't matter how many meetings they've had with people in this industry. Our job, our boss was get the meeting. Just get the meeting at all costs, right? So I really attribute a lot of my tenacity in this life to this guy, Sam. I really learned a lot about him. I learned a lot about the game of life through this man, Sam. So first he would just like a hound sniff out their contact information on the internet using all these different sources. He would call one person, they would lead him to another person, to another person, to another person, and he would sometimes call 10 people, and he would do the same thing every time. Yeah, this is Sam. I need Howard's number. All right, let's say Howard's the landlord. I need Howard's number. I lost my cell phone. You have Howard's number? And they'll put us in touch with someone else. Then they'll put us in touch with someone else. And it was all on speakerphone. Eventually, he would get Howard's number, whether it was the assistant or sometimes the cell phone if we were lucky. So he would call the number, right? And then there was the gatekeeper. He would say, there's always a gatekeeper, right? The secretary who would pick up the phone. You got to understand, her job is to not let you get through, right? This is what he used to tell me. So the gatekeeper would pick up. Yeah, hello. He would always know their name. He'd find out their name. Yeah, hey Charlene, it's Sam. Can you put Howard on the line? And they would always pause. This confusion. Whoa, this is someone important. I better not fuck this up. Oh, I'm sorry, Sam. Sam who? And he would always pause and go, Sam Kirsch. He would do that disgust, Sam Kirsch. And they would have no idea who he was, but they would patch him right through to Howard. Yeah, hello, this is Howard. Yeah, how you doing, Howard? It's Sam. What's up? Do I know you, Sam? Well, not yet, but listen, I'm calling about the cell antennas on your roof. As soon as he said that, this is someone who has been called 3-4 times a week for the past 5 years to get rid of his cell antenna lease. He's furious. I'm not interested. Stop calling me. I'm done with this. I'm not interested. So Sam would go, listen, I understand you're not interested, but you've probably no one's probably ever explained this the right way to you. No one probably explained what we actually do and why it's beneficial for you. I understand you're not interested, but you do eat lunch, right? I'm going to be around the corner from you at this time. There's this amazing diner. Let me bring you, do you like pancakes? Let me bring you some pancakes, whatever the food was. Let me bring you some eggs. They got incredible eggs. We'll sit down for 15 minutes and let me tell you about this. No, I'm not interested, Sam. Okay, sir, you drink coffee, right? Let me get you a cup of coffee. There's an incredible cafe. They have amazing donuts and pastries. Let me get you a cup of coffee and some pastries and we'll sit down and we'll talk about this. No, I'm not interested. They would hang up, okay? You think that's the end of the story, right? Sam would immediately redial, okay? And the secretary would pick up. Yeah, hey, I forget her name. Hey, Rachel, we got disconnected. Put me back on with Howard. They would click him through. Howard would pick up and say, are you seriously calling me again? Are you seriously calling me again? I don't understand why you're calling me again. And eventually they were laughing back and forth about it, right? And Sam would eventually snipe the meeting, okay? He would just basically say, hey, look, no one's actually explained to you what we do. You've probably hung up on everybody. Let me come in there, explain to you what you do. You'll never see me again if you're not interested. The guy would book the meeting, okay? And I went on a lot of those meetings as his apprentice. And some of those became deals, right? But the point here is that he was relentless, okay? He had a mission. His mission was to get that meeting. And how can I translate this into health? Well, whatever, that's not even my full intentions of making this video, but what just comes to me right now is that what we can do is we can have a relentless intent on something else, like health, right? We want we want health. You literally have to relentlessly pursue it, right? Different techniques, modalities. You want meetings, you want more money, you want whatever you want in life. It's a balance, right? So that was very out of balance. That was like relentless pursuit, okay? Without any internal work. There's a way of balancing both, where you give it your all, you really give it your all for this one thing that you want, and as soon as you give it all, you can just turn it off and say, I've given it my all, and you rest. And you wait, you know? So doing versus being. You can do this like whatever, if it's something you're chasing, right? This is a better analogy for like making money. But if it's something you're chasing, you really put your life out there, you put it all out there, and then you rest. And then you gotta know when to stop. So, yeah. Anyway, the real point of the story was just to share that ridiculousness with you. And yeah, start calling people back a second time. You'll never know what you'll get. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Tell me if you liked this very different style video, or if I should just shut up and keep teaching you how to make powerful puddings. All right, peace, guys.